We on now. They respect us cause we on now. Money up, run a whole town, don't we? This power money can't slow down. Money won't slow down. Ooh, we doing a lot. How we got on top. How we got on the top. Network and hustle. We on now. They respect us cause we on now. Money up, run a whole town, don't we? This power money can't slow down. Money won't slow down.
Okay, so we're going to put up on the screen a few of the things that are part of your platform, and I want to ask you, just give me sort of a true or false on these. Abolish the Senate.
True.
Okay, replace the presidency and Supreme Court as we now know them.
Yep.
Abolish ICE.
Absolutely.
Abolish borders and give amnesty to anyone currently in the U.S. illegally.
As a long-term plan, yep.
Defund the Pentagon.
Absolutely.
Abolish prisons, at least in large part.
Yeah, again, that as part of a long-term program, yeah.
Okay, so no prisons. Government or public ownership of most large corporations.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got some stuff I want to get off my chest. I am tired of a set of people on the very far left in the Democratic Party, my party, telling us that in order for us to be progressives, we now have to believe ideas and support ideas that are completely nuts. I am a progressive Democrat. But what does that have to do with supporting Hamas? What does it have to do with putting up candidates who say we should have no police, no prisons, we can't deport anybody, even if they commit rape or murder, Israel shouldn't exist? These are terrible ideas. These are awful ideas. Where did these ideas even come from?
Now have a ruling from the court. What comes next now for the teenager convicted of murder? We welcome you in on this Saturday. I'm Steve Pickett. That is where we are going to start today. The motion denial. Yes, a denial for a new trial coming less than 2 hours ago. Carmelo Anthony now denied that retrial request following his conviction for the 2025 fatal stabbing of student Austin Metcalf. This, of course, happened at a Frisco ISD track meet.
Stephen A. Smith, sports analyst and political commentator. Smith has established a recurring public pattern of disparaging commentary directed at prominent black women across politics, sports, and media. Such commentary reinforces harmful narratives, undermines the fair and respectful representation of black women in public discourse, and stands in direct conflict with NABJ's long-standing commitment to accurate, responsible, and inclusive portrayals of black communities.
I want to tell you, first off, before I say anything, I heard them loud and clear. I'm listening. I'm far from perfect. And I will always strive to do better on behalf of my community, for the journalism community, and beyond. In the days and the weeks and the years to come. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to address what was said about me with the fervor that it deserves. Because even though I heard you, even though I am listening, even though I will always strive to do better, That doesn't negate the bullshit that the NABJ did Saturday night or Friday night, whichever night it was. I believe it was Saturday night. It is BS.
X just created a credit card that'll probably wipe out Visa, MasterCard, and American Express. Look at this. This is insane. Formerly Twitter, X will give you 6% APY on your deposits. That's 50% more than if you invest in treasury bills and get yield from the US government, and like 1,000 times more than you'd get just leaving your money in a bank. 6% is nutty. You also get the same insurance you get with a bank account, as well as 3% cash back on all purchases. They also have some sweet features for creators. The point is, Elon isn't playing here with X Money, and he's really trying to create the new financial super app. Do you think that you'd use this X Money card over your current Visa, MasterCard, or Amex? Let me know.
The war between the U.S. and Iran just ended, and almost nobody sees what happens next, because the next steps were decided long before the war even started. This war sent oil to $120, and U.S. inflation passed 4%, and crashed crypto over 50%. Every red candle this year traces back to this one conflict. But now the war is over, and this changes everything. Oil price and inflation are collapsing. A new Fed chair who wants rates lower. And when cheap money floods the markets, it could be the start of the biggest rally in years. But here's what the media never says out loud. The same man who created this conflict is the one releasing it right before the midterms. The crash and the recovery were always part of the same plan. Trump is about to turn every smartphone on the planet into an American bank account, and it could trigger the greatest economic boom in American history. It's called a stablecoin, a digital dollar anyone on Earth can hold with nothing but a phone, no bank required, and it moves across borders in seconds. Here's how that makes America rich. By law, every stablecoin must be backed by real dollars and U.S. government debt. So every person in Argentina, Nigeria, or Turkey who swaps their collapsing currency for digital dollars forces more American debt to get bought automatically. Now scale that up. Billions of people holding dollars for the first time ever. That's the largest expansion of the dollar in history. America prints the money, the entire world lines up to hold it, and the debt gets funded by global demand instead of American taxpayers. Other countries export oil and cars. America is about to export money itself. That's the boom almost nobody sees coming, and it's already being signed into law. Follow us to
turn up to another level. We gon' give him all the praise, cause it ain't nobody better. We gon' turn up to another level. And we gon' give him all the praise, cause it ain't nobody better. Can't help myself, can't help myself, I can't help myself. When I get to praising up in this place, I lose my breath, I lose my breath. I can't help myself. When I get to praising up in this place, can't help myself, can't help myself, I can't help myself, can't help myself. Why they party? I'm in here grinding, money I'm stacking. Why they rock diamonds? I can't relate to them, ain't my chick calming. I set a goal for me 2 or 3 commas. 7 figures, 8 figures to 9 figures. On a slow pace to get rich quick. Same time we just think different. Cause when you make it, it hit different.
What it do, y'all? It's your partner Dale back in the saddle again for another edition of the Countermove Podcast. I'm a little early today, y'all. Don't shout me down, man. I got a family, which is cool. But guys, if you could do me a favor before we get started, guys, like, share, and subscribe. And if you are actually on a app that allows for you to do that, to click on a little bell, click on a little bell for your partner. So when I come live, you can come kick it with your mans and them, y'all. Excuse me. This is gonna be a good kind of podcast. Good kind of move podcast. Forgive me, guys. I can't speak today, guys. Which would be pretty cool, guys. Give me 1 sec here. I'm getting everything ready to go on TikTok. I got y'all. I'll be hearing y'all on TikTok. I got y'all. I know y'all be getting mad at the pedal. It's all good. Here you go, guys. Here is a little bit about what we're talking about today, guys. Boom, here we go. All right, guys. Here is our topics. Number one, guys, we are talking about, man, the Democratic Socialists of America. They are the loudest people in the room, and I know a lot of Democrats have told me that this is not our platform. We don't agree with them at all. So we're going to look at the DSA versus the moderate Democrats. We're going to look at the two visions for America. We're going to look at the visions a little bit, okay? Right? Number two, we're going to look at Stephen A. Smith, who, in my opinion, is the greatest of all time. He was called out by the NABJ, and my man's never responded twice. Number three, the Carmelo Anthony decision, guys. Man, the decision came out on this one, brother, and it was concerning if you should get a new trial. You can figure out what the judge said, and also some new details came out that's ain't looking too good. Number four, guys, man, Trump, Iran, and in my opinion, the real goal behind this whole war was to reset the whole global financial system. Period. That was his whole goal. And lastly, guys, in our second called to protect the bag. Man, Elon Musk has started a digital bank called X Money. And the legacy banks are terrified. We're going to talk about that, guys. All right, guys. Here we go. All right, guys. So let's dive into our first topic for today real quickly. Let me get back to my first shot here. Boom. Here we go. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Hold on one second, guys. These are not in order. It's all good. Here we go, guys. All right, the Democratic Socialists of America versus the moderate Democrats. Two different visions for America. The DSA, they have been very loud about what they're wanting to do. Extremely loud. But I've been having a lot of Democrats, the more moderate, coming out and telling Liddell, hey, man, you're covering a lot of the Democratic Socialists of America and their extreme views. I'm rocking with you. But hey, man, could you also let us know, cover what we talking about? You know what? Fair. I got you. So we're gonna dive in this real fast. We're gonna look at these two different visions. Okay, two different visions. And if you're a moderate Democrat, comment below, guys, and let me know what you think about both sides of the spectrum. Because right now on the Democrat side, the socialists are the loudest. And to be honest with you, the most prominent moderates have been saying really nothing. So I'm going to follow the council, bring that in, guys. So let's bring in the first thing real fast, guys. Let's go to Shannon Bream. Shannon Bream, she is, I think, one of the best commentators, in my opinion, on really on TV. Very fair and balanced, guys. Let's see what she says about this here, guys. See what's going on. And then what we can, that's not what I wanted at all. Boom. And then what we can do, guys, is we can then see what's really going down. All right, y'all, let's get into it. Let me get everything right. And we're right. Let's get into it. Here we go. Let's go.
Okay, so we're going to put up on the screen a few of the things that are part of your platform. And I want to ask you, just give me sort of a true or false on these. Abolish the Senate.
True.
Okay, replace the presidency and Supreme Court as we now know them.
Yep.
Abolish ICE.
Absolutely.
Abolish borders and give amnesty to anyone currently in the U.S. illegally.
Wow.
As a long-term plan, yep.
Defund the Pentagon.
Absolutely.
Abolish prisons, at least in large part.
Yeah, again, that as part of a long-term program, yeah.
Okay, so no prisons. Government or public ownership of most large corporations.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so then let's go back through some of those then. Abolish this.
But and we're gonna go to the Senate. But guys, come to me. Come back to me. Those are some extreme views. They are. I gotta be honest. Those are some very extreme views. Very extreme views. Wow. But hey, Let's get into it, guys. Now we're going to talk about, remember they said abolish the Senate. Let's go to it. Here we go.
Senate. There are people who are in the Senate now who are very supportive of DSA. They lose their seats?
Well, the Senate is an anachronistic institution. It comes from the British House of Lords. It is made to protect power for, the Senate was part of the system that was made to make sure that the people didn't have too much of a say. So we want to expand Congress significantly, but make it a unicameral legislature.
Okay, and without the presidency and Supreme Court, so abolish ICE. Would there be any enforcement of immigration laws?
Can I say no answer for 50 Alex? There was no answer at all. None. She said Jack crap. She didn't say Nathan. Nothing. 9. Pick a language. She didn't say nothing. She got back on her talking points and was a bunch of jargon. That's all it was. That's all it was. When you begin to pressure these DSA members, they seem to fold based on facts. I'm talking about all of them that's been on TV. All of them. And they all go back to the same talking points every time. Let's keep going, guys, because that Shannon pushed her. Here we go.
With abolishing the border, we're not enforcing immigration laws. They go away.
Yeah, so again, this is part of this longer term plan, and part of it
But if you
includes,
can get there.
If we can get to the place where the U.S. is not destabilizing countries in order to mine them for resources, there will be significantly less migration.
What do you say to those, though, that would potentially destabilize the U.S.? Because there's only so much the economy can bear, and when you have a flood of people coming in, it might not work out economically, according to a lot of analyses, if you just open up the borders and there's no enforcement at all.
Well, we're not saying open the borders tomorrow. We're saying rebuild an economy and a society that works for everyone. And the open borders is part of a longer-term international plan that involves us stopping destabilizing countries. Most people who are coming to this country are coming as economic refugees, and we destabilized their country. We did that.
Well, a lot of, if you look at data,
Again, get this, y'all. She never answers a question. It's always BS. That's what it is. There's no answer. There's no answer. Okay, that's enough for them. Enough for them. A bunch of nothing. Bunch of nothing. All right, now let's bring in, guys, all right, the moderate side. Okay? The moderate side, all right? Van Jones. And Van Jones, I gotta say, he kind of goes in on these folk. On exactly what she was saying. So let's bring in Van Jones, right? And let's hear what he has to say about what's going down. And then we can now respond to what he has to say. So guys, this is Van Jones. I'm gonna get it a little bigger for everybody. There we go. This is Van Jones. Let me get this out the way. This is Van Jones. Let's see what Van Jones says. All right, let's get to it.
That's the stuff I want to get off my chest. I am tired of a set of people on the very far left in the Democratic Party, my party, telling us that in order for us to be progressives, we now have to believe ideas and support ideas that are completely nuts.
Wow.
I am a progressive Democrat. But what does that have to do with supporting Hamas? What does that have to do with putting up candidates who say we should have no police, no prisons, we can't deport anybody, even if they commit rape or murder?
Wow.
Israel shouldn't exist.
Wow.
These are terrible ideas.
That's what you said.
These are awful ideas. Where did these ideas even come from?
I mean, as I said, I welcome him to the fight. Better late than never. But let's stop pretending that the warning signs were subtle. They weren't subtle. They were the entire platform, guys. And
guys, Jillian Michaels, guys, she is a former, how you doing, Virtuous One? She's a former Democrat. She may still be a Democrat. She may be a Democrat. I don't know. But let's see what she says.
for Van's more progressive ideas, here's the irony. I think that most Americans probably agree on the destination of the left's ideas and the right's ideas, not the radical fringe. But the real debate is, how do you get there without creating an even bigger disaster? Clean energy sounds great. How do you build it without destroying reliability, jobs, economic growth? Again, universal health care, fantastic. How do you pay for it? Because in countries with expansive public systems, the burden doesn't fall exclusively on billionaires. The middle class pays substantially higher taxes as well. And those are serious conversations. They're ones we should be having. But instead of doing that and coming together to tackle extremism on both sides, we go to war with each other over the dumbest crap. And I'm sorry, but for all the progressive Democrats and the moderate Democrats that are starting to call out the DSA, I'm going to say this. You're going to need some help from people on the other side of the aisle, and we're not going to be able to unite against the DSA, whose ideas are genuinely dangerous, if you continue to smear half the country with narratives that are statistically false and politically poisonous. You cannot defeat radicalism while feeding the resentment that it survives on. At some point, guys, you're going to have to choose whether you preserve the narrative or you preserve the country.
Got some stuff.
So again, guys, these are moderate Democrats. Jillian Michaels is a moderate Democrat, I believe. Van Jones is a moderate Democrat. And they're saying, hey, what the socialism side of the Democrat Party is pushing, that's not our policy. Matter of fact, it's dangerous. It makes no sense. And I gotta say, I agree with them. And I'm glad Van Jones has come out and said something. I'm glad Julian Michaels has come out and said something. But tell the elected officials to come out and say something about this as well. They've been oddly quiet about what's going on the Democrat Socialist within the DSA side. It's real simple. Moderate Democrats, say something. Get more louder. Be like Jillian. Be like a Van Jones. Say, hey, this is not our policies. Make it clear. I'm talking about Chuck Schumer, Hakeem Jeffries, name any one of them. And to be honest with you, these DSA candidates in some districts, they're running and winning. And I believe they're winning because of the fact that the moderate is not putting out a message that is directly opposed to what their party opponent is pushing. And this DSA is all behind affordability. And what they're pushing is not affordable. It made no damn sense. Am I tripping? Help me. You know what I'm saying? This is something. So moderate Democrats, you wanted me to talk about it, right? You wanted me to come out and say, hey, our policies are different from the DSA's. Got it. I let you guys speak for it. Your own side is saying, yo, we got to stop pretending that this wasn't the main platform, because it was, because the moderate side was saying nothing at all. It was all Trump man bad. While the DSA said, oh, okay, no problem, we're gonna come in and sneak right in. And they won some of these races. Now, I guarantee this, if you guys are saying on the moderate side, watch this, that what the DSA is pushing is dangerous to the country, abolishing the Senate, abolishing the presidency, open borders, no prisons, you know what I'm saying? You're talking about like dangerous stuff. Let me see if you guys get behind them in the general election. Let's see if the money flows over there. That ought to really let us know if you are truly behind them. Because you can tell us one thing, but your actions be something different. Does that make some sense, guys? So moderate Democrats, here it is. Y'all have come out and spoken. Down what I say, you guys are saying that is dangerous. Now grab a microphone, go on CNN, ABC, CBS, CNBC, MSNBC, and you talk about how This DSA platform is not our platform. Put a different message out there. Make sense, guys? Or am I tripping? And the player know. All I'm saying. A heck of a praise for Jillian Michaels and also Van Jones for coming out and saying something on camera. That's keyword is on camera. All right, good Lord. It's not that freaking hard, guys, at all. All right, guys, but hey, let's go to our next topic, guys, real quickly here. Man, you know I'm in Dallas, baby. I'm in Dallas, and something going on right now in Dallas, y'all. You know, the Carmelo Anthony trial, right? It's over, but what was happening is he hired a new dream team after being convicted and serving. He needs to serve 35 years in prison, right? With I think it's 15 years, 18 years. He can then get out of parole potentially. Now, here's the thing to think about this whole case here. This whole case here, right, is a lot post the verdict. A lot of people on the black side, they were saying, "Hey, he was innocent." I mean, the stories that were being made up was just laughable. They were laughable. But I digress. All right. Now, he hired a new dream team, right? They kept saying it's a dream team, legal counsel. I think it was like 6 attorneys. You know what I'm saying? I think I got 5 of them black. One was white. It's all good. It's what it is. And they went and held a hearing in Calhoun County for 2 things. Number one, to get the judge that was on the trial to recuse himself. Newsflash, the judge did recuse himself. He did. All right, no problem. Number 2, there was a lot of celebration about, yeah, look, y'all, justice is coming. Then it got time for them to present their case for a new trial in front of a newer judge. What they forgot to understand is the newer judge was more strict than the previous judge. Right? So, but it's what it is. They have the hearing. Some stuff came out, right, about both sides. And to be honest with you, both was concerning if true. Both were concerning if true, right? But I'm not gonna get in that. Let's get to the verdict, right? Because there was some commentary after the verdict. We got, oh my bad. We got to talk about. All right, let's go to the verdict real fast and see what actually happened. And then there was a debate about this case. And it was a white man and a black man who were totally opposed to, had 2 different views. But here's what it is. Let's get into it, guys. Let's get to it. Here we go. Hold on. Uh-oh. There we go. Boom.
Right now at 5, breaking news and Carmelo Anthony's appeal for a new trial. After days of tense testimony and courthouse protests, we now have a ruling from the court. What comes next now for the teenager convicted of murder? We welcome you in on this Saturday. I'm Steve Pickett. That is where we are going to start today. The motion denial. Yes, a denial for a new trial coming less than 2 hours ago. Carmelo Anthony now denied that retrial request following his conviction for the 2025 fatal stabbing of student Austin Metcalf. This, of course, happened at a Frisco ISD track meet. Our Braceda Holguin outside the Collin County Courthouse today with the very latest.
After learning about that ruling, it may be that the defense files for an appeal. We've reached out and are waiting for a response. Now, just about an hour ago is when that new judge who is overseeing this case came out with that decision denying Carmelo Anthony of a retrial. Judge Michael Chitney took over the case after the initial judge was removed and had to decide whether Carmelo Anthony got a fair chance to defend himself in his first trial. At the center of yesterday's testimony was a so-called gentleman's agreement attorneys made before the trial. Both sides had agreed to focus on what happened under that track meet tent where Carmelo Anthony fatally stabbed 17-year-old Austin Metcalf and keep the violent history of both teens out of the trial. Now, the defense said that the agreement put Carmelo Anthony in a difficult position because Carmelo needed to take the stand to explain why he used deadly force. Both prosecutors agreed that Carmelo's testimony could open the door to the violent backgrounds for both sides and agreed to keep it out. Prosecutor said there was never an agreement preventing Carmelo from taking the stand and said the unusual rules were necessary because of the threats and intense public pressure and misinformation surrounding this case. Once again, we're still waiting to hear what the defense will do now that this ruling has come out. We'll keep you updated with the very latest. For now, reporting in Collin County, Mercedes Holguin, CBS News, Texas.
Mercedes, thank you. Within minutes of that ruling, as it came in today, we received reaction. This statement, it comes from the Collin County District Attorney, Greg Willis. It says, with respect and expected, the court's decision denying the motion for a new trial, the jury's guilty verdict stands, and we remain confident in the process. Every defendant has the right to appeal, and our thoughts and prayers remain with the Metcalf family in the painful wake of last week's hearing. That from the Collin County District Attorney's Office. And this statement, Carmelo Anthony's attorney, Russell Wilson, also today, the issues raised in court, he said, deserve review in a higher court. But he said in this statement as well, the denial of our motion does not end with this case. We will continue the appeal in the Fifth Court of Appeals and pursue every legal remedy available to our client. A client, again, being Carmelo Anthony. Again, the breaking news at this hour, no new
trial, guys. No new trial at all for Carmelo Anthony and his family. No new trial at all. I kind of hate it for both of these young men. You know, one is unfortunately deceased, and another one is in jail. But no new trial at all, guys. So, with that being stated, guys, there was a debate. All right, a debate about this. And I want to bring that in real quickly about this actual case. And to be honest with you, I ain't gonna say nothing about it. I'm gonna let you guys see it. Some stuff was shared that was kind of concerning. You know, I just don't like when people make up stories. Just make it up. I despise that. Okay, but anyways, let's get to it, guys. Here is Carmelo Anthony. This is the debate on this case, and I want you guys to pay close attention to everything that is said. All right, close attention. All right, let's get into it. Let's go.
All right, so my first prompt is that Carmelo Anthony was not guilty of murder.
Yeah, so the reason people are talking about this case is because I think a lot of race baiters picked it up and were able to push this as this narrative that white people are being persecuted, that black people don't face punishment for their crimes, and inevitably, like, this is going to spread and cause this racist propaganda. And I think it's really dangerous if we don't get this 100% accurate, because what you're doing is you're ceding ground. Moderate or people who aren't really keeping up with this case will see this and say, that seems reasonable. I think that sentencing wasn't wrong. And if you're not saying it, if us progressives aren't saying it, people on the left, then they're going to go listen to racist people and go down that pipeline. So I want to be super clear that I do think it was murder based on the evidence, and I'd like to hear why you think it wasn't.
So according to the Texas Penal Code 19.02, murder in Texas requires intent. It says, 1, intentionally or knowingly cause the death of another person. 2, intend to cause serious bodily injury and commit an act clearly dangerous to human life that causes death. Or 3, cause death during the commission of another felony. So, like, robbing a bank and someone ends up, getting killed. So I think based off those definitions, you can't say that what Carmelo Anthony did was murder. His actions before, during, and after the stabbing point to an innocent person who didn't intend to kill anyone.
Sure.
So hold on. So hold on. Wow. I can't believe he actually said that. Like, doctor, somebody died because of his actions. And you say, well, that don't really matter. You know what I'm saying? It's really the intent. Huh? Okay, so oh my God, this is so bad. I mean, the selective outrage here is just something. And it gets worse. It gets worse. So now we're talking about, well, his intent was not to really unalive Austin Metcalf. Even though Austin Metcalf is unalive because of his action, he didn't intend to, so he should just walk scot-free. What? Get to it, y'all. It gets worse.
So I think on one, obviously, intentionally or knowingly causing death, I think that's up in the air. I don't think you could use a preponderance of evidence to prove that. 3, obviously, he wasn't committing another felony. The knife he had on him was completely legal. I think it was against school rules, but that's not a felony. But on 2, so intends to cause serious bodily injury and intentionally or knowingly commit an act clearly dangerous to human life. I think this is without a doubt, if you're escalating force using something that can kill someone, that's a knife, that is going to be intentionally causing serious bodily injury. That is intent to cause something that is clearly dangerous to a human. And even if you thought, oh, a knife isn't that dangerous, you can't use ignorance to how dangerous a knife could be to say that that wouldn't cause harm. The same as if he shot him. Shooting, isn't always going to kill you, but that's not, he could be ignorant of that, but that doesn't matter. The jury just has to show, oh, he intended to cause something that could do serious bodily harm.
So by definition and based off the data, based off the studies, I don't know how anyone, even if we brought a medical doctor in here, based on percentage-wise, when we look at statistics, I don't know that you can say that stabbing someone is clearly dangerous to human life. It's clearly going to cause bodily injury, but based on data, it's not clearly dangerous to human life. And I'll cite 3 studies. So we have 3 studies from PubMed here. All right. They did a study in Malawi where they had 2,352 stab victims. Only 3.2% of those stab victims died. They did a study in North London, 645 victims. 0.8% of those stab victims died. They did a 17-year study with 1,961 victims of interior abdominal stab wounds. Less than 2%, 1.9% of those victims died. These are all on PubMed. So victims who get stabbed are
more than likely not to die.
More than likely not to die. So
and you're familiar.
Okay, one question to smash that whole thing he just put out there. Where were all those individuals stabbed at? Were they stabbed in the heart? That makes a difference. It wasn't a hand. It wasn't a foot. It wasn't a leg. It was in the heart. Or any of those individuals on this so-called study stabbed in the heart? The answer to that question is probably hell no. No. We got to stop this. Come on, man.
Doctor in here, they would say, well, what are the chances of them dying? And they're going to say, well, less than 95% chance of this person dying.
Sure, those are the aggregate stats. But you're familiar with the shooting PubMed stats, right?
Yes.
How many people die from gunshot wounds?
33%.
Yeah, so it's over 60% of people survive gunshot wounds, but that is not an argument that gunshot wounds are not lethal force, that are not something that would cause the 19.0 or 902 statute 2. That's still major bodily harm that could cause death, and that's all you need to prove. You don't need to show that he knew it would cause death. You don't need to show that in his head he was like, this will kill him, because you can't read his mind. All you need to show is stabbings are lethal force. Stabbings are major bodily harm. Any stab could be, sever an artery, have you bleed out. Any stab in the heart, that could kill him. It doesn't matter if he wanted to kill him. I think you and I would agree he probably didn't want to, right? He didn't keep stabbing him. He ran away. He was trying to get out of that situation. But that doesn't matter. What matters is that he escalated with lethal force.
Yes, he did.
It does matter, because if we agree that he didn't intend to kill him, then by definition it's not murder. So
hold on, doctor. Let's test that out on you. You know what I'm saying? So if you were, or someone in your family, I think you're married, maybe it's one of your kids, and I don't wish this on you at all, period. But let's just test this out. Would you have that same perspective if it was your family member that passed away? In this manner? The answer would be no. You want justice. And rightfully so. What's up with all of the slippery, wishy-washy, terrible interpretations, you know what I'm saying? Terrible interpretations on this whole thing. This is trash. Come on, bro. We got to do better, man. We got to do better, y'all. This is getting bad. On this case, this is getting real bad, y'all. We starting to look stupid right now. Respectfully, stupid right now because it's just a dude is dead based on Carmelo's actions. Gone. And you say, that it's all good. He should be acquitted of this thing. Really? Is that what we doing now? Is that what we doing right now? Huh? Oh my God, this is just...
Look at his actions before, during, and after. He wasn't trying to come across anyone. He wasn't trying to be combative with anyone. He was sitting in a dugout. It was raining. He was told to move from the dugout. He left from the dugout. He left directly from the dugout, walked and entered the stadium on the same side where the dugout is. I can show it to you if you don't believe me.
No, I believe you.
Then he didn't walk far from when he entered. He was invited into the tent, according to Whitney testimony by Eddie Pera. He sat there. He was in the tent for at least 6 minutes, according to all of the documentation, at least 6 minutes from when I reviewed the camera footage, at least 6 minutes until the Metcalf brothers entered the tent without confrontation. When they entered the tent, then a confrontation occurred. He doesn't have to leave. You can stand your ground.
No, sir.
It's like if one of you told me right now to leave this room, and I said, no, this is not your space. You have no authority over me.
Sure.
You know, to make me leave.
But that wouldn't give you...
No. See, do you see the dishonesty there? Do you see it? Carmelo was not supposed to be under that tent at all. Why was he not with his team? Why did he go under that tent for? Like, we gotta be honest, y'all. We gotta be honest. We gotta be honest, man. This is getting bad, y'all. This is getting really bad. We gotta stop this. Come on, man. A young man is not here anymore. He's dead. And another young man, unfortunately, is in jail for 35 years. We gotta be honest, y'all. We gotta be honest, man. This is just...
the right to stab me if I said to leave and you didn't leave.
But if you put your hands on me, I have the right to defend myself.
Not with lethal force. That's a unnecessary escalation.
And there's no evidence of that either. There's no video evidence of the Metcalf twins putting their hands on him. That may have happened, but there's no evidence there. Like, I mean, are we making up stories now? Like
But you have to prove I intended to use lethal
right,
like
and
to kill you.
Stabbing and shooting, things like this are considered lethal force, just regardless. Even if you don't think it is, you can't use your ignorance to plead that, I didn't know.
Correct.
It's a reasonable, objective standard of what is lethal force. So that is stabbing, that is shooting. And so the PubMed stats don't really factor into that because, yeah, sure, a lot of people survive stabbings, but that's still lethal force. If you punched me, punching can kill someone, but punching isn't objectively considered by the reasonable standard to be lethal force unless you have a history of killing people with punches or you're like an MMA fighter. Most people would say, yeah, a bar fight that results in an accidental death is not going to end up killing someone for the most part. But stabbing is, shooting is, any other thing where you're like, I don't know, hitting someone with a car. These are things that fall under that section 2, which would be intent to cause serious bodily injury. That's what using a knife is.
Yeah, so comparing shooting to stabbing is a logical fallacy because there's a significant difference of over 25% in the mortality rate. So we can stop using the shootings.
Well, what percentage would you be like, okay, well, now it's reasonable? Because what you have a proprietary definition of reasonable right now. Like most juries, this is just how this works in the legal system. Stabbing is lethal force, especially when the opponent hasn't even punched you yet, right? Like this is not a defense of your life. The self-defense is undermined when you could have left and didn't do this. So when he's like, hey, touch me and see what happens, this is him escalating something that was provoked by them. Don't get me wrong, but that's still him escalating the situation. So what would that line have to be for you? Would it be, 60% of people die from this, 70% of people die from this, right? Like you could say, how many heart stabs result in deaths? And that is where he stabbed him. Now, I don't think he did that on purpose, but he did stab him in the heart. So you'd have to look at those statistics and then say, well, 60% of people stabbed in the heart might die. Like,
no, they don't.
Oh, yeah?
So
how
let's
many
look
people
at that.
die stabbed in the heart?
Among patients reaching the hospital with stab wounds involving the heart, the mortality rate is approximately 11.5%.
Okay.
So, and then again, you would have to intend that he intended to stab him in the heart and not just the chest area, where the numbers dropped drastically to 7.7%.
But think about that, 11%,
because you said one thing. You said that self-defense leaves the claim leaves when you could have left and you didn't leave. Well, that's not true, because Texas has a stand your ground law. I don't have to leave, especially somewhere where I'm not told to leave by someone in authority. If you're not the business owner, if you're not an employee, he was told to leave a place by another teenager after he was invited there by other teenagers. He didn't have to leave. If there would have been an adult who told him to leave, then you can make that argument. But a kid telling him to leave and he chose not to leave, and then the kid put his hands on him first and then he defended himself, and you said, oh, well, punching someone, or I haven't punched someone yet, that doesn't mean like it's fearful for your life. I teach martial arts. That's an attack. If I grab you, that's an attack. Grabbing you, we know what comes next: punches, kicks, knees, who knows what's coming next, elbows. So you stop the attack before it progresses. And that's what he did. And we know he was sorry, because he immediately dropped the knife. He stabbed him one time. He ran. What did he do? What did he ask the cop? He
said, is he okay, right?
Yes, he asked the cop, is he okay? What did he tell the coach when he walked back over to check on Austin Metcalf? They walked back near the tent. What did he tell the coach?
I don't remember this one.
He told the coach he's not going to die.
Okay.
All this proves that he thought he wasn't going to die. He didn't intend for him to die. What 17-year-old kid do you know is checking up on someone, asking this while you're in handcuffs? Is he going to be okay?
Yeah. Well, I think you and I...
Big dog. It don't matter if he didn't think he was going to die. He died. So should the punishment be, I'll just let him out. He'll be all right, because he didn't intend to do it. Even though someone did die, unfortunately. He didn't mean to do it, so he should be acquitted. After confessing on camera, yeah, I did it. Like, oh my God. I'm sorry. That I can't take no more of that one. That was so dishonest, in my opinion. So dishonest. We have got to be honest. We cannot just be making up stuff and slippery sliding on definitions. No, player. That dude deserves to be in jail, unfortunately. I hate that he's in jail. I hate it. He's a young man. He has a whole life ahead of him. I hate that Carmelo Anthony is in jail. I hate it that he is. But unfortunately, according to the law, this is a right. This is a right verdict. Unfortunately, and I hate it for both of the families. We should be praying for both of those families. But black folks, we have got to be honest about this. We have got to stop making up facts. I've seen so many podcasts of facts just being made up, whole cloth. We have got to be honest. That's all I'm saying, y'all. That's all I'm saying. All right, now let's go to our next topic, guys, real quickly, man. This is involving a dude that I actually have great respect for, as far as when it comes to sports. All right, sports. This is, I call him the GOAT. He is the GOAT. Stephen A. Smith fires back at the NABJ. They called him out for bashing black women, or was he blindsided by them? All right, so let's see what's going on here, guys, real quickly, and see why they decided to do this. All right, let's see what's going on here, guys. Here we go. Let's get to it.
Stephen A. Smith, sports analyst and political commentator. Smith has established a recurring public pattern of disparaging commentary directed at prominent black women across politics, sports, and media. Such commentary reinforces harmful narratives, undermines the fair and respectful representation of black women in public discourse and stands in direct conflict with NABJ's long-standing commitment to accurate, responsible, and inclusive portrayals of black communities.
Wow. So they gave him the thumbs down award at the NABJ, right? And let me say it real quickly. Brother Stephen A. Smith was not happy about it at all. And I was kind of perplexed by it because in my opinion, he didn't say anything at all disparaging to any black woman that I actually saw. So I was kind of confused by it. I digress. Let's get into it. This is Stephen A. responding. And guys, he responded twice. All right, let's get into it.
I saw that the National Association for Black Journalists gave me a thumbs down award. Now I know there's a lot of people that are expecting me to go nuclear. And the reality of the situation is I just might. But at this particular moment, that's not my inclination. I want to tell you, first off, before I say anything, I heard them loud and clear. I'm listening. I'm far from perfect. And I will always strive to do better on behalf of my community, for the journalism community, and beyond. In the days and the weeks and the years to come. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to address what was said about me with the fervor that it deserves. Because even though I heard you, even though I am listening, even though I will always strive to do better, that doesn't negate the bullshit that the NABJ did Saturday night or Friday night, whichever night it was. I believe it was Saturday night. It is BS. And I get a lot of people want to pile on and they want to jump on it because you have your own individual feelings about me. I'm here to tell y'all are entitled to that. Not the NABJ.
Oh.
You're not entitled to that. This is me we're talking about here. I am the same guy that brought a nationally televised show to a journalism conference, which is the NABJ, the last 2 years. Did you have anything to say about me then? Did I get a thumbs down then? First Take, a nationally televised show, which has been #1 for 14 straight years. We came to the National Association for Black Journalists in Chicago and Cleveland, back-to-back years. Of course, I got to thank ESPN for that. They're the ones that signed off on that. Specifically, now former executive Dave Roberts. It doesn't happen without him. It doesn't happen without ESPN. But you know who else it doesn't happen without? Me. Because if I'm not willing to show up, we ain't coming. But I was there. I was there not just to do the show. I also stood in the booth for over an hour doing the jobs fair.
Wow.
I also gave a speech. I also mentored and talked to, as I continue to do, young, aspiring black journalists, and I have done that religiously for decades. I started my career at the Philadelphia Inquirer. I know it's the New York Daily News as a high school reporter, but thereafter, in 1994, I began my career at the Philadelphia Inquirer, courtesy of Sandra Long, a longtime executive for the Philadelphia Inquirer, synonymous with the NABJ, whom I first met at the jobs fair of the NABJ. My career started because I was at the NABJ job fair.
So yeah, he goes on and on for a long period of time about this, guys. Now, here's the question I got to ask. This here is, what did the NABJ president say about him? And then Stephen A responds to that too. All right, let's go back very quickly, real fast, and let's see exactly what the president said about him on this. Okay? Because Stephen A responds directly to that charge. All right? Here we go. Let's get it to it. Get it in. Here we go.
President Dr. Aaron Haynes.
NABJ bestows its Thumbs Down Award on an individual or an organization whose actions undermine fair and accurate coverage of Black communities, reinforce racist or stereotypical narratives, or advance practices that conflict with NABJ's mission and values. This year, I believe it is especially important to understand this award in a larger context. At a moment when journalism is facing growing political, economic, and institutional pressure, the stakes extend beyond any single offensive statement, newsroom decision, or individual journalist. Decisions about who owns media, who controls newsrooms, which journalists and beats receive investment, and which reporters can work without political or corporate interference, shape what stories get told, whose experiences matter, and whether journalism can hold powerful institutions accountable. These are not abstract questions, because they determine who gets to tell the story of America. And at a time when the public needs rigorous reporting on the forces that are shaping people's lives, eliminating journalists and subject matter expertise weakens journalism's ability to serve the public and hold power accountable. Now look, I know the Thumbs Down Award can make people uncomfortable. Good. Because accountability is not supposed to be comfortable. The theme of this week has been our revolution, truth, power, and Black journalism. We cannot spend an entire week talking about truth and power and then become timid when it is time to tell the truth to power. We cannot talk honestly about what is happening to journalism right now without talking honestly about who is making the decisions that are shaping journalism. These things don't just happen. Newsrooms don't become less diverse by accident. Journalists do not simply find themselves without institutional support by accident. Press freedom does not erode by accident. Editorial standards do not bend themselves. People make decisions. Executives make decisions. Government officials make decisions. Companies make decisions. And if...
All right, folks.
So that was her speaking about Stephen A. Smith concerning this. And I have my thoughts on this in a second, which I'll give you my thoughts in a second. But Stephen A. comes back, y'all, and he responds to that too. And he asks a major question because she's talking about there should be truth up in here and this and that and truth to power, and this and that. Okay. Stephen A said, okay. All right then, baby girl. All right, cool. Let's get to it. All right, this is Stephen A Smith responding.
It's your boy Stephen A, still on vacation. But I just wanted to take a couple of moments to revisit a couple of stories that have still been percolating over the last week, and to let you know that if I seemed a bit quieter than usual, there was a reason for that. See, last week, after the NABJ decides to give me the Thumbs Down Award for disparaging Black women, yes, I did come on the air and I was pretty ticked off, insulted, offended by the position that a few board members for the NABJ had decided to take. Notice I'm not castigating the entire NABJ. I'm just talking about a few board members who had elected to make such an egregious decision as far as I'm concerned. And I spoke about that in real time to let everybody know where I stood and why, and then left it at that. There was a reason I left it like that for pretty much the last week. And the reason is very, very simple. I was a proud papa, enrolling my daughter in the college. To be a dad, to watch your daughter, who was nothing short of brilliant, reach another pinnacle in her life, pretty much starting a new life, being 18 years of age, enrolled in college at a prestigious university, one of the best in America, being a straight A student, doing the things that she's done. I've got two daughters, my Samantha, my Nyla, who are my world. And it was just a beautiful, beautiful thing to see my firstborn being enrolled in the college, nervous and excited, all of those feelings that she had, and to just be there to witness it.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to ruin that special moment for myself, for my family, for her. Wasn't gonna happen. But I give it to y'all. Some folks out there, albeit unbeknownst to them, certainly made efforts to do just that, to ruin it for me. Because you see, when I found out about the NABJ's ruling, it was last Friday. It was about 11 days ago. Ladies and gentlemen, when I found that out, when I got the text messages and I saw it online, it came to me while I was out to dinner with my daughter. And I was highly offended by that. But I let it ride and I let it subside for a few days and I let it sink in. Because when I want to be, I can be very calculating. And I let it ride because, to be quite honest with you, contrary to what narrative some people want to put out there about me and black women with their lying ass selves, my focus wasn't on that. My focus was on the fellas that I know in this business. I wanted to see what they were gonna say. That's where I was with it. And I spent the last week watching a lot of stuff that's been put out there. I mean, my team calls me Santa Claus. I don't know if y'all don't know that about me. I don't know if y'all know that's my nickname. They call me Santa Claus. Because I'm the gift that keeps on giving. Because we got cats out there that wouldn't have a damn show if they weren't talking about me. Wow. And that's literally how they make that their living. And I find I can't be but so offended by somebody who needs me and needs to talk about me and needs to inundate me with their headlines, my name with their headlines, in order to get paid. I'd rather you do that than breaking laws. So I get it. But I am human. I do have a heart. I do have a soul. I know what black women mean to me. I know what black women have always meant to me. And to hear such a flagrantly disrespectful accusation levied in my direction definitely hurt. But it gave me an opportunity to watch stuff unfold, to see if people were going to remind folks that I was raised by 5 women, that I have 2 daughters, that I have 10 nieces and 4 older sisters, all black, by the way, every one of them, growing up in the streets of Hollis, Queens, and being blessed by God himself to be able to elevate myself to a place where I'm about to be inducted into the Broadcast Hall of Fame, but the National Association of Black Journalists gonna give me a thumbs down award 5 weeks ahead of time. I had an opportunity to soak all of that in and to listen to people talk, and to see the disrespect.
or the backhanded compliments, or the unwillingness to address stuff with the fervor that it deserved. And I said to myself, I'm going to wait, and I'm going to wait, and I'm going to wait because I want to see. Especially from people in this business, to see what they were going to do. And I can't put in the words my level of disappointment.
Wow.
As I said, on
So he goes on, guys, but basically what he's talking about is he's saying, hey guys, can we get some receipts? Stephen A is saying, can we get some receipts? Can I have some receipts? That's all he's saying. So here are my thoughts concerning Stephen A. Smith and this NABJ situation. I consider Stephen A. Smith the GOAT, the greatest of all time when it comes to sportscasting. Period. He has surpassed the great Stuart Scott, in my opinion, and others that I may know. But he's the greatest of all time, in my opinion. That being said, I don't agree with everything that Stephen A. Smith says at all. No. But at the exact same time, he is the greatest. A lot of his political views I don't agree with. But on this topic here with the NABJ, the accusation is he has made disparaging comments against black women. I got one question for the NABJ, the president and the whole organization. Where are the receipts at? Why didn't you play it? Where are they at? And to whom? It seems to be, when it comes to journalism, it should be innocent until proven guilty, right? In the court of public opinion. Now it's over. Now it's guilty until proven innocent. That's a problem. And that's a standard. I think Stephen A. Smith has become too big for the NABJ. Stephen A. Smith, he is the most famous sportscaster on the planet. He is. He has, in my opinion, he's too big for the NABJ. And that's not to disparage the NABJ. I don't follow them at all. But I didn't know who they were until this came up. That's how famous you guys were, unfortunately. I didn't know who you guys were. That doesn't mean that you're not a big organization, because I believe you are. No problem. But I believe this was done, to be honest with you, for PR. It was done to get the name out there. So the new currency when it comes to social media, just media intention, is to disparage the name of somebody else to bring yourself up. That's the new, it's been there for a while, but that has been the grind right now. Victimization, right, in the wrong context, as well as I call low-value conversations by accusing someone of something without any receipts. Man, and in NABJ, that's what you did. This was a PR stunt. And I got to say to you, the strategy actually worked, because I'm talking about you and everybody else is talking about you. So you've made yourself famous, more famous, sir, I would say, more famous in the last week by castrating one person. Wrong with the word, not castrating, but disparaging the one person, Stephen A. Smith. So forgive me if you use the word castrating, but disparaging one person, Stephen A. Smith, because he was the biggest name on the block. So now you got the attention now. So with that being stated, since you want us to trust you, produce the receipts of what you're talking about. Get out of the shadows and get into the light and show the receipts. Stop lumping accusations without any proof. If you got it, you want us to trust your journalistic organization, show the receipts. and let the chips fall where they may. If not, stop it. Stop it. All right, guys? Whew, my word. My word. We got some comments here, guys. It says, yo, dude, what's up, man? How you feeling? I just got on. What's going on? What's going on? How you doing, Comrade Red? How you doing? What's the summary and what you're saying? Look at the bottom, brother. Look at the bottom. Anyways, guys, let's go to our next topic real fast, guys. Our next topic real quickly here. So these are out of order. Forgive me, guys. Not that one. It's the last one. No, it's not. Well, yes. I'm going to combine these. Well, I'm sorry. I'm going to go with this one first. All right. Let's talk about, man, this Iran war. All right. It's my opinion. This whole Iran war was Trump's attempt to reset the entire global financial system. And you're going to see why in a second. All right. So let's look at, I'm going to bring some receipts. Right. And I'm going to go a little more deeper on this tomorrow at 3 p.m. tomorrow, before the Roasted Friday Live on this topic. Okay. Well, let's bring in some receipts real fast, guys, on this. And I'm going to show you guys what I mean. All right. Here is my receipt on this. Right. I saw this video and I said, oh, yeah, this is it. All right. And let me show you what I'm talking about. And then we can go a little bit deeper in this thing, but we're going to show it all, guys. All right. Here is my opinion of this actually happening. Okay. Here it is. Let's get into it.
The war between the U.S. and Iran just ended, and almost nobody sees what happens next, because the next steps were decided long before the war even started. This war sent oil to $120, and U.S. inflation passed 4%, and crashed crypto over 50%. Every red candle this year traces back to this one conflict. But now the war is over, and this changes everything. Oil price and inflation are collapsing. A new Fed chair who wants rates lower. And when cheap money floods the markets, it could be the start of the biggest rally in years. But here's what the media never says out loud. The same man who created this conflict is the one releasing it right before the midterms. The crash and the recovery were always part of the same plan. Follow us to stay one move ahead of the market. The war between...
So guys, here's my opinion on this, okay? Here's my opinion. I believe that Donald Trump manufactured this entire conflict, and I use the word manufactured loosely because 7 presidents have been saying that they should be doing this and they have not done it, right? But I believe what he's done is he has manufactured this conflict. The question is what for? And here's the answer to that question. It is to reset the entire global financial system and also to inflate our debt away. We are $40 trillion in debt. We have 7.6 trillion, I believe. I may be off a couple $100 million. $7.6 trillion going out in interest payments, and about 5.3 to 5.4 coming in from tax revenue. We are $2.2 trillion in arrears. We can't afford that. That's unsustainable, right? So how do you get rid of unsustainable debt? But they did it in the 1940s, inflated away. You don't believe me? I got you, baby. Don't you worry about it. Your partner got you. Let's go over here real fast, guys, to this next video real quickly, guys, and let me kind of give you my another video for you to kind of see, right? Again, bringing receipts, right? Bringing receipts. Everybody thought it was about oil, and that was part of it, but let's go ahead and look at this here, guys. Here is here is the second video that I want you guys to see. And I think you're going to like what you see. All right, let's get into it. I'm going to make this a little bigger for everybody. Well, here we go. Let's get into it. Here we go.
Trump is about to turn every smartphone on the planet into an American bank account, and it could trigger the greatest economic boom in American history. It's called a stablecoin, a digital dollar anyone on Earth can hold with nothing but a phone.
Really?
No bank required, and it moves across borders in seconds. Here's how that makes America rich. By law, every stablecoin must be backed by real dollars and U.S. government debt. So every person in Argentina, Nigeria, or Turkey who swaps their collapsing currency for digital dollars forces more American debt to get bought automatically. Now scale that up. Billions of people holding dollars for the first time ever. That's the largest expansion of the dollar in history. America prints the money, the entire world lines up to hold it, and the debt gets funded by global demand instead of American taxpayers. Other countries export oil and cars. America is about to export money itself. That's the boom almost nobody sees coming, and it's already being signed into law. Follow us.
Guys, did you see it? Did you see it? You see it? I saw it. I saw it. I saw it. And we got a comment here that says whoever the YouTuber making the Trump videos. Oh, anyways, guys, I saw it. This is what I saw, guys. It's very simple. Let me go back a little bit real fast. I'm not going to play it at all. Notice here, guys, you see something real fast. You see something right here real fast. Come on. Oh, come on back. You see these countries here, guys? Those are not U.S. citizens. Those are citizens in other countries. Now, why? It's because of the fact that President Trump passed something when he first got in office, right? What did he do? Real simple. I'm going to get rid of this real fast, y'all. Get rid of this because I want you to pay attention to me real fast. When President Trump first got in office, what did he do? He actually appointed in my opinion, two of the most powerful members in his cabinet. Secretary of Treasury, Scott Bessent, Secretary of Commerce, Howard Lutnick. Let's look at their backgrounds. Scott Bessent has made his billions in currency exchange. That's why he's Secretary of Treasury. Howard Lutnick made his money in cryptocurrency. There was two acts that were passed during Trump's first part of his second term. One called the Genius Act, which created a reserves for cryptocurrency that mimicked the Federal Reserve financial setup. And another note called the Clarity Act, which deregulated the banking industry as a whole. This was so powerful, the legacy banks, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Citigroup, you name it. Those are called legacy banks. They actively lobby the Senate Budgetary Committee, right? So to Fiduciary Committee, to not pass it because it passed the House. But the Clarity Act has been signed into law, I believe. So now you have a deregulated banking system. We have legacy banks going against digital banks. Now, why am I going here for? It's very simple. If you notice in that video, you notice how scared money was running into treasury bonds, right? Treasury bills and government bonds, right? And you saw other countries' currencies that have collapsed were flocking over to the most powerful currency on the planet, which is what? The US dollar, right? Now the US dollar is backing the stable coins and also the debt. Now, by moving the dollar to becoming a digital dollar, which is called a CBDC, stands for Central Banking Digital Currency, right? You have to digitize the dollar. Biden started it with FedNow. Trump expedited it with the Genius Act and the Clarity Act. The goal is to be able to inflate the debt away, because if you're losing $2 trillion a month, right, in money, you can't pay it off. So the government wants to, we're in a fractional reserve system. The government wants to be able to do what? Print at will. Well, if they print at will, what happens? Inflation happens. How do you kind of solve that problem from a theoretical standpoint? You use modern monetary theory. You inflate the debt away by positioning the debt and digitizing it. This was so surprising. The Russian finance minister came on camera for the first time, I believe, and said, hey, the U.S. is trying to move their debt onto a digital blockchain for them to inflate the debt away. Because he understood that when other countries' currencies are going down, they're going to flock to U.S. Treasury bills and government bonds. And the stable coins, what's the back of the stable coins, is our bills and our bonds. So they automatically buy those by default. Now what's happening is, as they're sending out, other countries are sending out maybe some oil, some manufacturing stuff, some chips as well. We're sending out coins, our debt, therefore inflating it away. This was done not when it comes to digitizing it, but this type of mechanism was done in the 40s to eviscerate the debt. When Nixon took us off the gold standard, the dollar became a fiat currency. Fiat currency. Now get this. A fiat currency, guys, right, has a 100% failure rate. They failed every single time. Every time. They failed. So when Nixon took it off the gold standard, that doomed the dollar. Is this dangerous? Yes. Because of the fact that you have the government that wants to print money. That's all they want to do. Just print. They believe they can control inflation. Now get this now. You got two things you can do. Bitch and moan, which is what most Americans would do. Or you can countermove and benefit from this pivot to a digital dollar, a central banking digital currency. And get this, this came out last week. There was a race, I believe, between the U.S., China, and I think the third one was Russia, I believe. There was a race to formulate their own CBDC. Guess who won the race? The United States. Guys, we have a digital dollar. It's here. So what are you going to do? I got your counter move. Now, let's go into our segment, guys. Right, real fast. Called Protecting the Bag. And what I'll do is when I get back, we will unpack this. Let's get to it.
Network can hustle.
Now, guys, let's get back to it real fast. Now, this is what I want to talk about real fast. Oh, not that one. Because I'll get banned if I play that one. Hold on, y'all. There you go. I get banned if I play that one because that's one of my favorite songs. All right. There we go. Now. Uh-oh. Come on now. Come on. There we go. All right, here we go. All right, guys. Did y'all understand? Did y'all know that Elon Musk is actually in the banking business now? And your bank is terrified of this move. Digital banking is the new shift in wealth play. Because the government is forcing our entire debt to go digital. So much so, guess who actually bought Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies before this move was done? BlackRock. Have you guys ever noticed how BlackRock is always, they're always in the forefront of everything? It's real simple because they understand banking and you don't. Simple. Now, if digital banking was a big deal, right? Do you think that the richest man in the world would be getting into it? Yes, Elon Musk has developed his own bank. It's a digital bank. Yeah, it's called X Money. You don't believe me? Walk with me. Here is the news talking about this guy's bank. A digital bank. A digital bank. So let's dive into it real fast. Here's Elon Musk and his digital bank, guys. It's called X Money. And guys, it's real. And it has your bank. It has your bank terrified. Let's see why. Let's get into it. Here we go.
Just created a credit card that'll probably wipe out Visa, MasterCard, and American Express. Look at this. This is insane. Formerly Twitter, X will give you 6% APY on your deposits. That's 50% more than if you invest in treasury bills and get yield from the US government, and like 1,000 times more than you'd get just leaving your money in a bank. 6% is nutty. You also get the same insurance you get with a bank account, as well as 3% cash back on all purchases. They also have some sweet features for creators. The point is, Elon isn't playing here with X Money, and he's really trying to create the new financial super app. Do you think that you'd use this X Money card over your current Visa?
So again, guys, as you can see, Elon Musk ain't playing no games. And if the richest man in the world is making a pivot to banking, don't you think you should? I am. Heavily. And I'm entwining my real estate portfolio into this. You want to go a little deeper on Elon and why you should be looking at a digital banking play? Walk with me. Keep going. Walk with me. Let's bring in another real estate guy like your partner, right? And let's see him talk about it as well, guys, on this. And just real quick, then I give you my thoughts. All right? Let's get into it. Here we go. Let's get into it. Here we go.
And look, every single bank in America is staring down something genuinely terrifying right now. And I'm not talking about another housing crisis or some crypto bro meltdown, though God knows we've had enough of those. I'm talking about a fundamental shift in where Americans keep their money, trillions of dollars, just leaving, walking out the door of traditional banks like they just realized there's a Costco sample station across the street.
Guys, and the number, guys, is 16.6 trillion. With a T. All right.
The catalyst here isn't the Strait of Hormuz, rate cuts, or pumped up AI stocks. It's Elon Musk. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Of course it is. That man is either saving civilization or destroying it, depending on which tweet you read. But this isn't about Tesla share buybacks. It's not about the SpaceX IPO. It's not even about whatever the hell is happening with his robots building robots. No, this is about something he's been working on in the background that nobody is paying attention to. You see, your bank is paying you almost nothing. The average is 0.38% interest on a savings account right now. And the richest man on earth just noticed. So while the internet has been immersed in everything Elon the last few weeks, he quietly flipped a switch and launched a bank. 6% on your savings, roughly 15 times what the big bank down the street pays you. Sitting inside an app 600 million people already have open on their phone. Wow. Oh, and there's more. 3% cash back on purchases. Jeez. FDIC insured up to $250,000. He's basically beating banks at their own game while reposting memes 15 times a day. And he's not being shy about the ambition. In his own words, he wants X Money to be, and I quote, the place where all the money is, the central source of all monetary transactions.
Guys, do you see that? Are you reading that? You see that? He literally wants all the money to be there. It's a banking play. He has a banking partner. This is called banking as a service, or BaaS. Look it up. It's real. Let's get back to it, guys. Get back to it. Here we go.
All of it. Every transfer, every paycheck, every bill living inside the app. And that's not a side project. That's a loaded gun pointed at every bank in America, including yours. So let me show you exactly what he built, why Washington is already very nervous about it, and the one question you need to answer before you get anywhere near it. And here's my promise for the next few minutes. I'm not going to tell you to move your money to Elon. I'm just a U.S. Marine who buys houses. I'm not an economist, but I can read and Google past page 2 because that's all that's needed to start collecting dots and then connecting them. And the dots say this was never really about a savings account. It's about what happens to your bank, your deposit, and the number on your statement the day the richest man alive decides the banking business is just too easy to leave alone. Let's start with what's actually sitting in the app. It's called X Money. Same X you already know, the one that used to be Twitter. Earlier this year, it quietly went from a place you argue about politics to a place that holds your cash. 6% annual yield, a metal Visa debit card with your name laser etched into it, 3% back on what you spend. Send money to anyone on the platform instantly, and your deposits up to $250,000 are FDIC insured.
Yeah.
Now that last part has an asterisk, and I'm coming back to it because the asterisk is the whole ballgame. But I noticed something the second I saw that 6%. The number is real. The comparison is the magic trick. 6% is about 15 times the national average, and next to Chase or Wells Fargo paying you a rounding error, it looks like a miracle.
Yeah.
But hold it up next to a plain online savings account like a SoFi or a CIT or a Wealthfront.
Yeah.
And I have a link below in the description to the top 10 high yield savings accounts that are already paying 4 to 4.5%. And so the honest version is this: it's a mountain more than your big bank. It's a little bit more than what the smart money already gets.
Yeah.
And you can take a look at that list when we're done here. And there is more in the fine print here, because there's always more in the fine print, right? Early reports say that 6% isn't just sitting there for anybody. To get the headline rate, you may have to route your whole paycheck in as a direct deposit. The same hoop the cashback cards make you jump through for their good number. And that might be a big deal for you, but maybe not. The 6% might be worth it to rearrange some stuff. And the full rule book, the plain disclosure every bank has to hand you before you open an account, hadn't even been published as of this recording. So you'd be wiring your life savings toward a 6% that's real, variable, and not fully spelled out, run by an app whose customer service is famously a black hole. That's not a no, that's just a read every single word first. And here's where it stops being a savings account and starts actually being a weapon. Your local bank pays you next to nothing for one reason: it can. Where else are you gonna go? Switching banks means new checks, new direct deposits, relinking every bill, a Saturday afternoon you'll never get back. They're not paying for your money, they're paying for your inertia.
Correct.
Now, picture an app that's already open on 600 million phones. No branches to keep lit, no tellers, no marble lobby, just code. When your cost to run a bank falls to almost nothing, you can hand the difference to the customer and still come out ahead. That's the move. And it points straight at the one thing every bank in America is built on: your deposit, just sitting there, cheap. The word the suits use is sticky. Your money is supposed to be sticky, hard to move. Elon just made it slippery. Multiply that by a few million people who finally got tired of 0.4%, and you don't have a fintech. You have a slow motion bank run with a debit card and a cashback program. That's the loaded gun. And it isn't pointed at Wall Street's penthouse. It's pointed at the regional bank on your corner, the one holding your mortgage, your neighbor's small business loan, the whole street. And here's the part I can't prove, but I'll tell you what I think is going on. When deposits walk out of small banks, those banks don't just shrug. They pull back. They lend less. The loan your kid needed for a first house, the line of credit keeping the hardware store down the block alive, that's what tightens when the money quietly slides into one billionaire's app. We've watched smaller banks wobble every time cash moved fast in this country. Nobody rings a bell when it starts. So the question stops being, ooh, 6%, and turns into something you say out loud at the dinner table. Here's the line I want you to text your spouse right now. The richest man on earth is now paying 15 times my bank, and my bank can't fight back. Sit with that for a second, because it tells you exactly how little your loyalty was ever worth to them. Now, why is Washington suddenly paying attention to your savings account? In April, Senator Elizabeth Warren sent Elon a letter, 13 questions, and she didn't dance around it. She wrote that if X money runs the way X has run, then, her words, consumers, national security, and the stability of the financial system could be at risk. Gave him a deadline to answer. And look, whatever you think of Warren, the questions underneath are the right ones. Number one, who is actually holding your money? Because Elon's app isn't the bank. The deposits sit at a partner called Cross River Bank. And Cross River has been hit by federal regulators twice, once in 2018, once in 2023, for unsafe and unsound practices. That's not a tweet. That's the FDIC's own paperwork. And to be fair, all banks seem to have a run-in with the FDIC at some point. Hello, Wells Fargo. Number two, there's a carve-out in a new law, the Genius Act, that a company like X could drive a truck through, doing bank-like things without all the bank-like rules. And the federal watchdog that's supposed to police exactly this kind of product, its budget got gutted last year. So the cop got sent home right as the biggest new player in the country walked onto the field. That's the receipt. Washington isn't nervous because Elon's too small to matter. They're nervous because he's too big, moving too fast through a door somebody left wide open. So what do you actually do with all of this? Well, 3 moves, and none of them need Elon's permission. Move 1, separate the signal from the sales pitch. The 6% is real, but it's a variable rate, which means it can drop the morning after you move your money in, and nobody owes you a phone call when it does, just like your own bank probably operates right now. Treat the number as marketing, not a promise. Move 2, always know where your money actually sleeps. With any of these app banks, your cash isn't at the app, it's parked at a partner bank behind it. FDIC insurance covers that bank going under. It does not cover the app or the plumbing in the middle freezing up. Ask the folks who used an app called Yada. When the company in the middle collapsed, real people were locked out of real savings for months. The money insured the entire time. The insured, though, doesn't mean it's reachable on a Tuesday. Move 3, and this is the one that actually matters. Use this as your kick in the pants, not your leap of faith. You do not need a billionaire to stop earning 0.4%. Open a real high-yield savings account in your own name, or buy a short treasury bill straight from the government, and you're sitting at 4.5, FDIC direct, or backed by Uncle Sam himself. No app required. If you don't know where to start, I did put that list of the top 10 high-yield savings accounts down below in the description.
And you guys can see, guys, this is, to me, I showed this, guys, not for Elon Musk. I showed this, guys, because of the fact that the banking industry is going through a deregulation. And whenever there's a deregulation, guys, there's always a shift in wealth. Wealth is never destroyed, it's merely transferred. It's transferred to ones that are actually ready. You saw it with telecommunications, you saw it with energy, and now we're seeing it with banking. Okay, with banking. This is real. Now, what if you could do the exact same thing that Elon Musk is doing right now by partnering with a digital bank that's FDIC insured, actively traded on the stock market? Sound good? Give an example. The average American right now, they tap their card, use their debit or credit card or their phone, right? Or their phone, right? To pay for stuff 30 plus times a month, right? What if you were actually making a nickel each time someone swiped their card or tapped their card? When a direct deposit lands into someone's account, what if you're making a percentage on the money just sitting there? Because you saw in the video, digital banks have virtually $0 to run versus a legacy bank looking at about 30%, maybe even 40% to run a branch. Do you see what we're talking about? Digital banking is the new shift in wealth because you see the government moving the debt and making it digital, right? To save itself. So if the government's doing that, it's probably wise for you to do it at the exact same time, guys. And benefit from it, right? That's all I'm saying. If you want more information, about what this may look like. I'm going to put a QR code up here in a second. Guys, if you want more information to see what this looks like, guys, don't you worry, your partner. You know, I got you. Here's some free information about this, guys. Scan on the QR code right there on the screen, or you can click on the link below in the show notes, guys. You'll go right to the information. It is free. You can watch a quick video on it as well, also to get more information. It's our financial technology or digital bank educational series, guys, that we rolled out to assist in you making this decision, right? If Elon Musk is pivoting over to a digital dollar, digital banking, I would say, and the government is doing this as well, also because Elon saw that. SoFi is a digital bank. Chime is a digital bank. So is PayPal, Stripe. These are digital banks. They're making billions of dollars. If they're willing to share, if a bank like that is willing to share proceeds with you, right? That's maybe something you can look at. So again, my firm has rolled out a digital banking type of scenario, guys. Take a look at it. Take a look at it, guys. It's right there. Free information, and you make the decision. All I know is the billions are going to flow whether you do anything or not. And this is a $16.6 trillion marketplace. That's with a T. Okay? But again, guys, if you wanting to know more information about how a real estate investor like myself, right? A private equity investor like myself is pivoting over to a digital dollar that intertwine with my current portfolio. Here it is. Scan the QR code right here. Click on the link below in the show notes right there, guys, or DM me, guys. And I'll shoot you the same link over. Real simple, guys. All right. Then lastly, guys, I was going to ask this question. Hey, again, I'm a real estate investor. And I think right now is the greatest time, in my opinion, to buy real estate right now, to buy it, right? The secret to success in buying real estate is to buy properties below wholesale. It's what they call distressed properties. We're giving out a free ebook called Distressed Property Investing, right? How to find your first or many properties in your city, county, or state in the next 30 days. And here's a little bit of a secret, guys. We actually talk about a technique for you to get a list of properties that are distressed in your city for free. That's in this ebook, right, guys? But again, just saying, scan the QR code right here, guys, on the screen, or click on the link below, guys, in the show notes as well, or DM me. We'll get you over that link. It's very, very simple, guys. But guys, thank you so much for your time. God bless you. And I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow. That's for sure. Oh, before I go real quickly, guys, tomorrow we have Real Estate Friday Live, which we call the Investor's Edge. We talk about all things real estate, and we talk about cryptocurrency. All right, guys? Here's a little bit of a sneak peek of what we normally talk about. Let's get it. Here we go.
Okay.
Sir, there's a GC right there. Cliff.
Go.
It's piers. They got concrete piers and wood piers.
Yes, sir.
Checklist. Check out the checklist. We got it for everything we need.
Yes, sir.
All right, you forget some things sometimes. So this is going to outline, make sure you hit every single thing. What's the foundation, plumbing, electric, painting, flooring, everything. So you don't miss anything.
Okay.
You want to make sure you get all your checks.
Okay. I want to introduce you guys to Cliff Hunter. Cliff is a world-renowned flipper. He actually flips. He's also a GC as well. He's a good contractor. When it comes to all of our renovations, all over the nation, you'll talk to this guy right here. All right, guys, that is the Investor's Edge, guys. Tomorrow at 5 p.m. CST, you get to see me and Cliff talk about all things real estate, guys, at 5 p.m. CST on all platforms. Enjoy it. We get into our bag a little bit. We're gonna be talking about a topic about real estate, right? A strategy you can actually implement, and also how you can look at implementing crypto or tokenization into that thing, guys. So you can also make money on the physical property, but also from a digital standpoint, guys. It's all the same, guys. All right, guys. And lastly, man, I am going to begin the interview series, guys. Again, I was asked about that by my good partner, Brendan Boyd, about this, guys. Here's a little bit of sneak peek of what you get from that series. Here we go. One of the many questions that I receive is, Liddell, how do I get into those rooms? Well, this interview series is just for you. So welcome to the room.
We on now. Let respect discuss. We on now. Money up, run the whole town, don't we? This power money can't slow down. Money won't slow down. Ooh, we doing a lot. How we got on top. How we got on the top. Network and hustle.
Guys, that's the Countermove Podcast. The interview series is coming back, guys. Got some guests lined up. Been kind of behind on getting it going, but I'm back in the saddle, guys. I had to put my daughter in school, y'all. My bad. Y'all don't shout me down. All right, guys, I gotta go. God bless you. I hope you guys had a good message. Also, those that actually want that link again, guys, I got you. No problem. Here's a link, guys, to the digital bank project that we're talking about. Digital banking project. Scan on the QR code right there on the screen, or click on the link below, guys. Click on it right there. It's free information. It's right there. I think, guys, we have a chance to make a lot of money doing this. For those that are positioned the right way, you can make a lot of money in this space. All right. So much so Elon Musk is in it. So again, guys, just a little bit of something there, guys. All right, guys. Guys, God bless you. See you guys tomorrow at 5 p.m. CST. All right, guys. Tomorrow. All right, guys. See you guys tomorrow. Peace.
Right now, someone in your phone contacts is buying a coffee. Someone else just got a notification that their monthly subscription renewed. The average person taps their card more than 30 times a month and auto-pays nearly a dozen subscriptions. These are regular habits that lead to daily and monthly spending. But what if every single one of those microtransactions paid you? Introducing Dingo Blue, a powerful financial technology platform built for the way people actually live today. Powered by the ACN direct sales infrastructure, Dingo Blue gives your network a frictionless mobile account. 16.6 trillion. That's how much money is sitting in checking and savings accounts across the United States right now. Now, imagine getting paid when your customers simply do what they're already doing every day. When they keep a balance in their savings and checking accounts, you earn every single month a small percentage of what is in those accounts. When they tap their card for groceries, you earn. When they fill up their tank, pay their bills, grab a coffee, book a trip, or shop online, you earn. Every swipe, every purchase, every month. Every transaction creates another powerful opportunity to earn income through everyday purchases people are already making. Bills, gas, online checkouts, every swipe creates another opportunity. Dingo Blue aggregates those micro percentages, building a compounding residual pipeline directly to you. You acquire the customer once, you monetize their lifestyle indefinitely. No legacy fees, total transparency. Banking services are provided securely by our licensed FDIC-insured partner bank, giving your network institutional-grade protection. Stop funding someone else's success. Start creating your own. Tap into your pre-approved marketing toolkit, connect with your network, and launch your Dingo Blue engine now.
To learn more about this banking-as-a-service digital banking business model, and to see how it can potentially benefit you financially to build wealth, click on the link below, scan on the QR code, or DM me the word bank. I'll send you the details. Stay blessed and holla at your button.
Okay, so you did fixes and flips first, or were they? Now it sounds like you're more buy and hold. Okay, so you're wholesaling first. Okay,
because I was broke. I had no credit, I had no money, so I had to get some money coming in. So I learned how to do wholesale.
And you were doing wholesaling at the good time too.
2000.
When it wasn't so saturated. There was.
I kind of saw the debacle coming. Okay, it didn't make any sense. I was like, wait a minute, how can you lend out to retail buyers 99.7%? Yeah, just a little bit of a down tick. It's insolvent.
And you got to remember, in some states, because I lived in Florida at the time, you could have loan to value above 100% of your property. Right. The first property that I bought, it was 110%. We left the bank with like $30,000.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
It was amazing to me. I was like, why am I not doing this all the time? But then clearly 08, 09 let me know why people shouldn't have been doing that all the time.
08, 09, that's why I made that lion's share of my money.
Wow, okay.
Actually running from the cows, I was running to it.
Of course.
Because I saw it was coming.
Okay.
A lot of my business colleagues back then were buying flippers.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was wise for me to share 50% of my profit with Uncle Sam. He didn't do no work.
Okay.
So why would I give him free money?
Of course.
Okay, how can I make sure I'm still legal, but keep the lion's share of the cash flow?
Of course.
So I began studying the tax code with my accountants and CPAs, and I said, okay, I'm going to buy a whole lot of properties. Now watch this. I actually buy a lot of properties. I take home money when I actually acquire it. Every single time.
Okay, you need to break that down just a little bit.
If you'd like to learn how successful real estate investors make money when they acquire real estate and not when they sell it, click on the link below, swipe up, DM me the word to real estate to download our free ebook, Distressed Property Investing. The blueprint is in the ebook. Stay blessed. I'll let your partner and download the ebook today.